certainly not the first to suggest that we are living in an unprecedented time. I think no matter what our differences, we can all agree that there is some breakdown happening in society, and there's a lot of suffering that's accompanying that. And it seems like this breakdown is happening on all these different levels at once: physical, with illness; mental, with all of the isolation, the difficulties that people are experiencing. There's a lot of emotional heartbreak, a lot of racism and xenophobia that we're combating, violence that we're combating at the same time, and some sort of spiritual breakdown, I would add as well, that we're at a loss for how to move forward and what meaning there is in all this, and how do we create after such catastrophe. And I certainly know as much as you. But I've noticed that we tend to try and find the answers to all of our problems outside of ourselves. And we've been trained to do this from a very young age. We are trained to believe that the answers come from experts, come from institutions, come from places outside of ourselves that tell us on a societal level and on a personal level what's best and what's next and what's right. And as we seem to not be able to find the answers that we're looking for and the expertise that we're looking for on platforms like the news or other institutions, where it doesn't feel like we quite know, like anyone really knows how to navigate through this. Perhaps there's another way besides looking outside of ourselves that we can try to find healing for ourselves, personally, and maybe as a greater collective. And the thing is that we've just been trained, and the way history has gone in the Western world, we're all about the mind and the power of the mind. And our minds are very powerful, and they've created incredible things that we are witnessing and utilizing, right, on a daily basis. But the thing is, it's like we've forgotten about the body. And I think that at a time like this, perhaps, at least for me, it's been really, really beneficial and helpful for me to start to get in touch with my body and with my emotions. And I find that the connection that I've been able to cultivate over these last few years has really helped me. And I just want to share some tools and some tips with you if you have a history like I did of numbing your body, of pushing through sensations that your body's bringing up, of ignoring them, of disregarding them, of not listening to what's happening in your heart and in your belly and through your breath. Because we're taught to push through, to progress forward, to go in this linear way, but it's like, where has that gotten us? You know, maybe it's time. The earth herself has said it's time for us to just sit down and to feel what's happening and to get in touch with us. And you might be surprised at what answers and what intuition arises from that place that can guide you then for the next step forward in your life. So how do we start this practice? Well, as you know, many before have said, we can start with the breath. And with recognizing that we are breathing at all times during our living life. As long as we're alive, we're breathing, is what I'm trying to say. And we can start to practice noticing our breath, not thinking about our breath, not analyzing our breath, just feeling our breath. Maybe taking a deep inhale through the nose, out the mouth, and then just settling into a regular, normal breathing pattern. And notice if you feel the breath in your nostrils. Maybe you feel it in your chest. Perhaps you feel it in your belly. And wherever you feel the breath most strongly, just pay attention to that place. What does it feel like to inhale? And what does it feel like to exhale this time? And now again. And the thing with this breath practice is it's portable. We can take this wherever we go. We can always drop into the breath and just with non-judgmental awareness see. And our breath will give us a lot of information about our internal state, about what's happening within us. And that then gives us an opportunity to respond a little bit more mindfully. So we can just keep paying attention to that breath. Noticing if we're judging ourselves or judging me or judging anything. Lots of judgments come up. And that's okay. Invite those in, acknowledge them, and then continue to shift your focus to the breath. And we can now pair this breath with a little bit of movement. I will stay seated. We can really just do movement right sitting down if we're at our desk working, if we are wherever we are, we can use this practice. So why don't we begin to pair the breath with a little bit of an arch. So I will turn this way. Maybe it might be a little bit easier for you to see. So we can just begin by placing our hands on our thighs and inhale, roll the shoulders back and lift the heart, lift the chin, the tail goes back. Inhale. Exhale, curl everything in. And then keep going. When you inhale, you lift and open. And when you exhale, you curl in and contract. Noticing how this breath pattern facilitates the movement, that the inhale is all about an expansion and openness. We're taking in breath, we're taking in energy, we're lifting up, and it feels open and lifted. And then the exhale is all about we draw back into ourselves. The exhale is about that rest, that return inwards. And so you can keep doing this, and you can do this seated, you can do this in a tabletop posture. Inhaling to lift the heart and the tail, and exhaling to curl everything in. And make it accessible. Make it simple. And allow your breath to guide the movement rather than our mind guiding the movement. And we can also pair this really simple breath practice with a little bit of a visualization. So when we're breathing in, we're kind of inviting in that air, right? And if we're feeling really overwhelmed and scared and confused, maybe we can begin to imagine that we're inviting in things to our life, into our environment that we would like to have with us for the day, for the moment. And we can imagine ourselves exhaling things that we would like to let go of. And those things can be abstract or concrete. And it just begins to allow our imagination to soar and get a sense of what's actually going on in our mind and what our fears and hopes are. So for example, you can close your eyes and breathe in and say to yourself, and don't think before you say it. Let's just try and do it as a flow. So I am breathing in joy. I am breathing out stress. I am breathing in fun. I am breathing out anxiety. I am breathing in puppies. I am breathing out sadness. I am breathing in belonging. I am breathing out hatred. I am breathing in a big sky. I am breathing out rain clouds. Just anything that pops into your head. And you don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to do this silly conductor thing. Just visualize and see how a few moments of that can just shift your state of being. So again, with that simple breath, we can simply observe. In a meditation, we can pair with movement in a little bit of a yoga practice. We can pair with the visualization. And then we can also pair with a little bit of journaling. So we offer you some prompts below, some actual handouts that you can download and use this as a template. I always suggest journaling to my clients and my friends because I think that it's so valuable. And it can be overwhelming to know how to start a journaling practice. So we offer some suggestions, and maybe you could use this breath practice to begin, just kind of free writing. I am breathing in and then just write whatever comes up. I am breathing out and just keep writing. You know, the goal is to keep writing. The goal is not to analyze. The goal is not to second guess. The goal is not to judge yourself. The goal is to write and allow that subconscious emotional part of ourselves that gets so pushed aside to have a voice. And to allow whatever comes up, comes up. So I really wish you lots of love and joy and happiness in the days to come. And I wish you some stillness and peace in these turbulent times. I think that the more that we are able to practice these self-care techniques, the more we're able to serve others with presence and with authenticity. So this is my little offering for you, and I will be here every week offering little things that have helped me cultivate a connection to myself, because I know that the center of your healing is within you, and I want you to believe that. So this is me saying, all the answers are in you, and I hope to be along for the ride to help you find that. Thank you so much.